Tonight on Cronkite News, an Arizona representative opens up about their cancer diagnosis, how they discovered it, and if this could have an impact on our state.
Plus, more than $500 million has been secured to help along the southern border. Find out just how that money will be spent.
And the Suns' victory over the Pelicans put Devin Booker's name next to Wilt Chamberlain's in the history books. What he just achieved coming up. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Athena Kehoe.
And I'm Jesse Broaders. Thank you for joining us.
We begin tonight with Arizona Representative Raul Grijalva announcing his battle with cancer.
The congressman is from Tucson and represents most of southern Arizona. Reporter Sydney Whitty tells us how his peers are supporting him through this difficult time.
In a statement today, Representative Raul Grijalva announced he was diagnosed with cancer after seeking treatment for a persistent cough. Grijalva says he was originally diagnosed with pneumonia, but further testing confirmed it was cancer. Grijalva represents District 7, which stretches from Yuma to Tucson. His peers took to social media to share their thoughts and prayers. Representative Ruben Gallego's statement included, "As a fighter for Arizona and the natural wonders of our state, Raul is an inspiration to me and so many." While Governor Katie Hobbs says she wishes the congressman a swift and complete recovery. Representative Grijalva is 76 years old and was elected into Congress back in 2003. He is currently the longest-serving Arizona member of Congress and says he will continue to work as he undergoes treatment. In the newsroom, Sydney Whitty, Cronkite News.
Representative Ruben Gallego, the expected Democrat nominee for Senate in Arizona, continues to bring in campaign cash. In fact, he announced today that the first 3 months of 2024 have been his best fundraising quarter. The Phoenix congressman said he received more than $7.5 million in contributions from January to March. That's double his previous quarterly high of $3.75 million from quarter one in 2023, when he first entered the race. Gallego will likely face off against Republican Carrie Lake in the general election. She has not announced her 2024 quarter one fundraising numbers yet.
Also during the general election, voters could see an abortion measure on the ballot. Currently, state law bans the procedure after 15 weeks, but Arizonans could vote on a constitutional amendment on abortion. This comes after Arizona for Abortion Access announced today they have collected more than 500,000 Arizona voter signatures, which is more than 3 months before the July 3rd submission deadline. The proposed constitutional amendment would guarantee abortion rights until a fetus could survive outside the womb. It also would allow later abortions to save the mother's life or to protect her physical or mental health. Opponents of the measure are focusing on the potentially broad application of the mental health exception.
Now to the border, where the influx of migrants is steadily rising. Nonprofit shelters dedicated to assisting them are encountering financial challenges.
A bipartisan initiative could provide help. Cronkite News reporter Roxanne De La Rosa tells us how.
Dozens of migrants are receiving food and shelter at Casalitas despite the organization's complicated financial situation.
The funding was huge to be able to plan ahead and make sure we were able to keep up with the volume of people coming through and adapt. You know, some of the challenges there is the hoops that you have to jump through on the data collection and forwarding the information as it changes and evolves with time, which is understandable.
Arizona Senators Mark Kelly and Kirsten Sinema have announced that they secured $650 million to help border communities and nonprofits like Casalitas that aid migrants. Customs and Border Protection recorded over 300,000 migrant encounters on the Tucson sector in the fiscal 2024 year. Casalitas helps migrants who have just been released and are on their way to reunite with family members and attend an appointment with an immigration judge who will hear their asylum cases. The leaders at Casalitas are hoping to receive enough funding to last them for another 3 months in order to continue to provide services for asylum seekers.
Robert Robbins announced this morning that he will be stepping down as president of the University of Arizona after fulfilling his current contract, which will end in June 2026. He said in his statement that he is prepared to step down earlier if the Arizona Board of Regents finds a replacement, and that the decision is the right one for both him and the university. This comes as the University of Arizona is still dealing with the over $100 million shortfall.
The Final Four festivities tipped off in Phoenix this morning with the unveiling of the NCAA Legacy Project. Cronkite News reporter Philip Lovell joins us from the Sports Bureau and has more on what the project will do for the community.
In recent years, the NCAA has partnered with local organizations to better the community. This year, they chose to sponsor a community center in Central Phoenix. And the Phoenix Local Organizing Committee partnered to refurbish and upgrade the indoor and outdoor basketball courts at the East Lake Community Center in Phoenix. The investment for the project was nearly $300,000 and also included a mural that commemorates the park's history and the individuals that left a mark on the community. Governor Hobbs and Mayor Gallego were in attendance to celebrate the unveiling.
The NCAA Men's Final Four Legacy Project will be a vibrant reminder of the 2024 Men's Final Four and its positive impact on Arizona. When it comes to hosting mega sporting events, no one does it better than we do.
In 2017, the Men's Final Four was hosted in Phoenix and generated over $300 million in economic impact. This year, the Final Four is expected to generate over $350 million. In the Cronkite Sports Bureau, I'm Philip Lovell.
Thanks, Philip. Coming up next, a trailblazer in the world of Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
That's right, we'll introduce you to a woman who is dominating a traditionally male sport.
I felt that I didn't have a place, like a space in there, like I didn't belong,
After the break, meet the first Mexican woman to earn a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
And it's been pretty chilly around town over the last few days, but we're in for a big warm-up. Your forecast is next.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see.
And entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles.
In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia. From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
Arts is usually a male-dominated sport, adding extra barriers for women who want to participate.
Cronkite News reporter Adriana Gonzalez-Chavez spoke to a woman who broke barriers in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
I felt that I didn't have a place, like a space in there, like I didn't belong, And it was really hard at the beginning because jiu-jitsu was not prepared in Mexico to receive women.
When Itzel Bazua began training Brazilian jiu-jitsu, women were often not welcomed into the sport.
People wouldn't pair up with me. They would feel it was like a waste of time. And guys would rather make a group of 3 instead of grabbing me for a training partner.
Over the past few decades, more women have slowly been welcomed.
Oftentimes when a lady starts jiu-jitsu, it's for a reason. And that reason can be, I've heard it all. So naturally, I just wanted to provide a safe place for them, an atmosphere where they felt respected.
Daryl Taylor is the founder of Like Minded Jiu-Jitsu, a dojo located in Tempe, Arizona. He has been participating in the sport for over 27 years, and as a professor of the art, he does his best to make sure women feel included in his dojo.
Put a lot of the responsibility on the current people here because they were once new at one time and we had to do it for them. So I always try to make sure that it's a circle and that everyone's giving back. That way my newer people feel like family right off. And once they mature in the sport and they've been here for a while, it becomes their responsibility.
Amy Onspa is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu and joined the sport after her son asked her to join him for a class one day. The art has changed her life because of what she has been able to take outside of the dojo.
Definitely builds a lot of confidence. Your physique is good, you feel strong.
Bazua is happy to see more women in the sport today than when she first started. She's the first woman in Mexico to receive a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. While paving the way for others to have a safe place to practice hasn't been easy, she says it has been worth it.
The most important thing about a team is to embrace everybody's differences and build around the fundamentals of the team, which is like the values. The values are the same, so you can build a foundation, and then in the differences you find the beauty.
In Tempe, I'm Adriana Gonzalez Chavez, Cronkite News.
Bazua now travels around the world teaching jiu-jitsu seminars and sharing her passion for the art.
From the mat to the slopes, if you want to ski, now is the perfect time. Over the weekend, Flagstaff saw its second heaviest snowfall for March, accumulating 7.1 inches.
Yeah, the Easter snowstorm could help keep the snow bowl open longer. Flagstaff received over 100 inches of snow for the 2023-2024 season. There's a good chance we could see the snow bowl open in May again.
Back here in the valley, it has been pretty wet. Rishi Oza joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center. Rishi, are we done with this rain?
We're definitely done for the time being, just for a little bit. But let's take a look at this evening going into tomorrow, sitting at around 71 degrees for tonight. Not going to change too much from there. Sitting at 69 degrees at 8, going to 66 degrees at 10. Going to be in the mid to high 60s for the rest of the evening. Going into tomorrow, looking at these low temperatures, 31 degrees in Flagstaff. That's how you know we're warming up a little bit. Haven't seen 30s in Flagstaff in quite some time. 50 in Tucson, as well as 57 in Phoenix. Going into the highs, 60 degrees in Flagstaff and 64 at the Grand Canyon. We just talked about all that snow. It's all going to be gone by the time tomorrow comes around. We're going to be looking at 77 degrees in Tucson, 82 degrees in Phoenix, and 85 in both Lake Havasu and Yuma to be the high points for Arizona. It's going to be a great day to go outside, get some sun in before the Final Four comes around here to the valley this weekend. As we look at our high temperatures for the rest of the week, 82 tomorrow, 88 on Thursday. It's going to be really hot, but we're going to take a dip on Friday, 66 degrees, as well as a 30% chance of some showers in the evening. Going into the weekend, we're going to be sitting at around those temperatures, 67 degrees on Saturday, 73 on Sunday, and 71 degrees on Monday. It says 10% chance of rain. That's not true. 70 degrees on Tuesday, and then we're going to be up to 78 on Wednesday. For the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Rishi Oza.
And if you are planning on spending some time outside this weekend, Hance Park has just the event for music lovers.
That's right. They're hosting this year's NCAA March Madness Music Festival. The park is already setting up for the free 3-day festival, which will include performances from Zedd, the Jonas Brothers, and Mumford & Sons. The festival takes place April 5th to 7th.
Of course, that's not the only Final Four event happening over the next few days. Joining us now with a preview of what more we can expect, Jack Pearson and Lauren Avenatti.
That's right, Athena. And coming up in the Cronkite Sports Report, we'll have a complete list of the Final Four activities across the valley.
Plus, the former Sun Devil making a big impact. After the break, our one-on-one interview with the Kraken's Joey Daccord.
Three, 2, 1. Cronkite News. Get real professional experience in areas such as reporting, broadcast editing, and behind-the-scenes production, such as technical director and audio.
Kill the mics.
Or go out in the field and cover important local stories.
To learn and master the English language.
In a fun, welcoming atmosphere. Cronkite News. The future starts now.
Cronkite News means to me is opportunity.
We do news right at Cronkite News, serving a community ethically, honestly, and truthfully.
And we can provide a necessarily different angle, different voice for those people that really need it.
The students, they have a lot of passion for journalism.
I get to do a lot of stories about the Hispanic community.
And we have access to cover all of these sorts of events and get media coverage of all these different personalities and athletes, and that's just a huge thing.
But it's also a chance for people here to be humanized. Individuals of all walks of life.
Cronkite News will help take the next generation of journalists onto their next careers.
I am old enough to remember Walter Cronkite.
We're putting a lot of pride on his name because we are practicing a lot of the things that he did.
I think he'd be smiling from ear to ear.
I.
We are Cronkite.
Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Jack Pearson.
And I'm Lauren Avenatti.
Devin Booker had yet another special night in New Orleans, Lauren, his third time in a row, dropping more than 50 points on the Pelicans.
That's right, Jack. And with some playoff seeding indications at stake, Booker went all in. Booker became the first player since Wilt Chamberlain to score over 50 points in 3 consecutive meetings with a single opponent, while also scoring the most amount of single-game threes in his career, with 7 falling from downtown. D-Book actually grew up across the river from Smoothie King Arena and credits the hometown vibes and family in attendance to his consistent success in the Big Easy.
The talk around Arizona has been the well-received debut of Josh Stone. However, another former Sun Devil player has been making an impact over in the Emerald City.
Yeah, Jack, Joey Daccord has shown tremendous improvement compared to last year, and Cronkite News reporter Trey Matthews caught up with Daccord when the Kraken were recently in town to play the Coyotes.
Former Sun Devils player Joey Daccord has been a bright spot for the struggling Seattle Kraken. He originally made the team out of training camp and is currently leading the Kraken goalies in games played, wins, shutouts, and save percentage.
It's been great. I've enjoyed every minute of it, all the ups and the downs. I think as a kid, you just think about the destination of getting to the NHL, but I think it's, when you look back, it's about the journey. And, I've just looked at the journey through this individual season, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity and to get the chance to show what I can do on any given night.
All eyes have been on Daccord ever since he became the first NHL goalie to record a shutout during the Winter Classic. The Kraken are one of the bottom-tier teams in the Pacific Division, and they have zero chance of making the playoffs. However, Daccord continues to enjoy the journey of establishing himself in the NHL.
I think coming into the season, I just wanted to establish myself as a regular, everyday NHLer. I've gotten a couple games here and there over the past couple of seasons, but just to get a chance to, really get a run of games and show what I can do at this level was important for me.
Eddie Lack played 6 seasons in the NHL and was a volunteer assistant coach at ASU under Greg Powers during Daccord's tenure. Lack says that the next step in Daccord reaching his full potential is to be stable in net, since goaltending is vital for any successful NHL team.
He is right up there right now, sniffing on a #1 starting role in the NHL. The next step is to show that you can do it over a longer period of time and just show that consistency.
I think the way that he plays is so unorthodox compared to a lot of other goalies, right? Joey Daccord, he handles the puck so well. He plays the puck so well. When you talk to anyone on the defense for Seattle, they'll tell you it's like having a third player back on the breakout.
Joey Daccord has obviously left a long-lasting imprint on this Sun Devil program, and he has taken the right strides in his NHL career, where he hopes to take the Seattle Kraken to new heights. At Mullet Arena, Trey Matthews, Cronkite News.
Last week, the Arizona Coyotes and the Women's Sports Foundation hosted the WSF Athlete Ambassador Program at the academies at South Mountain.
Yeah, and the event is meant to support and encourage girls to participate in sports and to educate about the importance of females in sports. Significant figures of women in sports held a discussion panel for most of the event. Lindsay Fry, a silver Olympic medalist on the 2014 Women's USA hockey team, told her story to the group of young women who she hopes to inspire. The rest of the event consisted of the girls learning to build relationships with one another by playing hockey.
I like to be that example for girls to see that, you know, if I could do it, why not you? And that's what I tell all the girls when I do hockey camps around the country. If I'm in a small town in Montana, if I made it from the desert of Chandler, Arizona, why not you too? And that's the message I hit on all the time.
The Women's Sports Foundation, founded by Billie Jean King in 1974, is celebrating 50 years of encouraging women and girls to participate in sports.
Yeah, and Sun Devil lacrosse players have all taken their own unique paths to get to Tempe. One path some players have taken, Jack, is the graduate transfer route. And Cronkite News reporter Sam Valenti has more on these new arrivals.
Arizona State Lacrosse features graduate transfers that bring experience and leadership to the team. According to head coach Taryn Vanthoff, the transition for them has been seamless.
They pick up the ground balls, they put the ball in the back of the net. There's no second guessing that they don't belong here at Arizona State. They're a perfect fit.
One of the transfers is former Mercer University standout Shannon Uri. She came to Tempe after winning Big South Offensive Player of the Year in her senior season. Uri brings goal scoring and a hard-working attitude to Tempe, things she developed at Mercer.
It was something that was really taught to us, and it was a big team standard of just working hard even when no one's looking type of thing. So just always working, always trying to get better, every day trying to get 1% better.
Another newcomer to Tempe is Katie Haley, who transferred to ASU after 4 years at Colorado to join her sister Annie on the team.
It's very different from Colorado and what I've come from, but I love being with my sister and to just play my last year with her and a new team and a new experience.
The Haley sisters played lacrosse at Maine South High School. While the pair thought that would be the last time they'd play together, that all changed when Katie became a graduate transfer.
We were like, we want to play together at some point in college, and my parents definitely were like, that'd be awesome to have you guys back together.
The graduate transfers have found success with their new team, and Uri states that the chemistry between the players adds even more to the experience.
Just all the girls are so fun, so amazing. I think every day, even when it's hard, we always have fun together. I think that's such a special thing to have.
In Tempe, Sam Valenti, Cronkite News.
The Haley sisters aren't the only pair of sisters on the Arizona State lacrosse team. There are also the Gasper twins and the Riley twins. I mean, it's like a family reunion every time they're out there on the field.
No doubt, Jack. And moving over to basketball, the men's Final Four games are tipping off this Saturday. But in preparation for the championship weekend, basketball fans can expect other activities to take place around the valley. By Friday, there will be 4 events lining up. The Reese's Men's Final Four Friday and the tip-off tailgate will be at State Farm Stadium. The Men's Final Four Fan Fest at the Phoenix Convention Center and the Music Festival at Margaret T. Hance Park, as mentioned earlier, featuring performances by Renee Rapp, the Jonas Brothers, and more. And on Sunday, 2 more events spring up. The Dribble event for children 18 and under in Heritage Square, and lastly, the HBCU All-Star Game held at Grand Canyon University.
Well, it should be a fun weekend, but that's all the time we have today for the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Jack Pearson.
And I'm Lauren Avenatti. Now back to Athena and Jesse.
Coming up next, we all know the Easter Bunny.
But there might be another bunny making its mark. How one giant bunny is winning over its community, gathering a following in person and on social media.
ASU's one and only student-run radio station, Blaze Radio, provides students with opportunities to cover a variety of topics. From music,
this is Sun City Garage,
to sports coverage,
against the Brewers in his last outing, he went
to news.
The bill also gives parents the ability to see,
and entertainment updates. Blaze Radio offers a fun environment to gain valuable broadcast experience. To find out more, visit blazeradioonline.com.
As journalists at Cronkite News, we report on stories that matter to you by focusing on the local impact. We dig deeper and work tirelessly to keep you informed.
Live in Wickerburg.
Live in Los Angeles. In Cleveland. In Washington. In Louisville.
From Jerusalem.
Live in Philadelphia.
From around the world to right here in Phoenix.
At Cronkite News, we report the facts and stick to the truth.
A person in Texas has been diagnosed with bird flu.
This infection comes after the virus was recently discovered in dairy cows, according to health officials. Authorities say the person tested positive for bird flu last week after working on a farm in Texas and having had direct contact with dairy cows that were infected. It marks the first known instance globally of a person catching this version of bird flu from a mammal. During the Easter season, many kids dream to see the Easter bunny.
But now a different bunny is also winning hearts. This is Willow, a 15-pound Flemish giant bunny in Missouri. She serves as a therapy animal, helping people at nursing homes, hospitals, and schools. She's even on Facebook with her very own page called The Adventures of Willow Bunny, with posts written from her perspective. But don't offer her a carrot. This bunny loves bananas for some reason.
That is so cute. But that's it for us for Cronkite News. Thank you for joining us.
And to see top stories around Arizona anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.